Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's me, the Mysterious Cameraman, and today we are talking about Madam Web and if it is really... People have been claiming that it looks like a fan film, and this is a very interesting claim. As your resident fan film nerd, and I think I have deserved this title after making, I think, over 200 fan film reviews, which is a lot. It's probably a bit less because a lot of those are probably like real stuff, but maybe like 150 fan film reviews. Even that's a lot. Yeah, we've been getting the claim that Madam Web looks like a fan film, and I've been really wanting to talk about this. I know I'm pretty late to talk about it. I've been really busy, but I've been really interested in talking about this. It's a really interesting topic. I might even have to do a second video on it, but I think it's a hilarious idea. But yeah, let's talk about this thing. Before we get into it, if you haven't already voted for the Fan Film Award 2023, vote now. The vote closes December 15th. Madam Web is not on the ballot, obviously, but there are a lot of other films on the 2023, oh my god, Fan Film Awards. There are 24 fan films on the Fan Film Awards 2023. Vote, vote, vote. There are some of the best fan films out there. I actually don't want to say what fan films are on there and then give bias, but there's a lot of good fan films on that list. So vote, vote, vote. Try to get these fan films to win. We want as many votes as possible to really definitively see who the best fan film of the year is. Besides that, let's jump into the video. I think I have to get started by saying is, I think the way that Sony does some of their trailers, I think is really good. There are some trailers I don't like that Sony does. Some of them I don't like. Not even just Sony. I like the way that they do trailers nowadays with, like, the licensed music and then they make it, like, epic. I'm, like, for some reason, those just always work for me. Like, 80% of the time. Like, a good 80% of the time they work. Especially the Sony ones. Because Sony picks the most hilarious music when it's, like, the most depressing, sad thing. Watch the Morbius trailer. Watch the Madam Web trailer. Tell me you don't hear it. Both are the most somber things. It's hilarious. But, like, I know Sony likes doing their dark, cheesy things. And I love that about Sony. It makes their films so fun. But hear me out. Watch the Morbius trailer. Watch the Madam Web trailer. And tell me those trailers don't look good. Don't tell me the music in those trailers don't, like, work for the trailer. Even if the film's crap. I don't care. Watch those trailers. Those trailers are good. But those trailers are good. But I remember when I first watched this Madam Web trailer, because it came out because I was away the day it actually came out. So I didn't see it the day of release. I saw it the next day. And the next day was the same day the Percy Jackson and the Olympians trailer released. And What If Season 2 trailer also released the day before. So I had a lot to watch. So I first watched Percy Jackson because I'm a huge Percy Jackson fan. That was incredible. Then I watched What If. That was also really good. So when I came on to Madam Web, oh boy. The first thing I saw was that Spider-Man. The Ezekiel Sim Spider-Man. First thing I thought, that looks like the Lotus suit. You look at that dude and tell me that does not look like the Spider-Man Lotus suit. I am not joking. That is the first thing I thought. It had the same, like, build of the suit. Like, it looked like the Lotus suit. And tell me you don't see it. Like, again, maybe it's just the person in it looks like Gordon Wayne. But even the suit, like the goggles, look similar. I don't know. This is how I first perceived it. But is it really look like a fan film? Or is it just a crappy film? Like, I've also heard the CW claim. As another really person who likes the CW or liked the CW. Yeah, I see it. I definitely see it. I think the first thing to talk about is the CW claim is, I think that is really only because they're having a non-important character who's female star in the film. I think that is one of the main reasons that claim, because that's like a Supergirl thing or like a Batwoman thing. And the other claim is the thing that Sony sometimes does, is when they go like off track to do some weird plot about like the parent, which we saw in the trailer when they got killed in the jungle or something. That is, I think, another thing that's like something a CW show would definitely do. Like, resort a whole episode to how their parents died. That's something that CW would 100% do. So I think that's how they're getting those claims. I see it. I see where they're coming from. I've seen this trailer a lot. I definitely see where they're coming from. But I also see where they're coming from with the heroes. There's a lot of characters in this, a lot of Spider-Man. And I also see what Sony was going for when they saw this film. They are doing a Spider-Verse. And I think this is like a really interesting idea to bring in a lot of Spider-Verse characters. They brought in Madam Web. They're going to bring 4 other Spider-Men, Spider-Woman, and 1 Spider-Man. And I think compared to something like Kraven the Hunter, this is when they can actually add a lot of Spider people to their ranks. Even though Kraven the Hunter is a Spider-Verse film, that's not going to benefit the Spider-Geddon arc that I think they're leaning towards so much. I think this film actually can. I think they're introducing 5 new Spider-Verse characters. If they do that for 4 more films, if they introduce 3 new Spider-Verse characters in Venom 3, let's say they do 4 new Spider-Verse characters in Morbius the Morbin time, and then they do so many others, then you're having a lot of characters for Spider-Geddon. The issue that I'm running into is why are they introducing Spider-Verse villains when it's pretty clear they're going for Spider-Geddon? I think it's almost obvious to everyone that they're going for Spider-Geddon. If you don't know Spider-Geddon, it's like Avengers Infinity War or Justice League Dark or whatever. Like, it's like the film of the century, the comic book really, but all the Spider-Verse characters are there. I don't know why they're doing things like Morbius or Kraven or... No, Venom makes sense. Venom would appear in Spider-Geddon, but why those other characters? I don't know, unless they're not going for Spider-Geddon, unless they're going for more of like Spider-Verse heroes versus Spider-Verse villains, and they get like Andrew Garfield, Toby, Tom. They bring Miles Morales into live action to get all those characters, and they get them to fight the villains. That could be cool, I guess. But it's very interesting because we don't know what Sony's leaning towards. So I don't know why they're introducing both Spider-Men, Spider characters, and then also Spider villains. Like, if they're going for Spider-Geddon, they don't need to make Kraven Hunter or Morbius. What they really should be doing is more Spider people films, like Kane, what's Scarlet Spider, or Spider-Man Noir. That would be pretty awesome. Or a live-action Miles Morales, or for me, I actually really like the Crypto Spider-Man comics, or whatever that's called. Spider-Assassin. I could really go on for days. But Spider-Man 2099, even that deserves a film. Spider-Gwen deserves a film. Scarlet Spider, now I said that. Superior Spider deserves a film. Like, if they're going for Spider-Villains, I don't see what their end goal is. That's the issue. Because it's like, they don't have a clear goal, what they're going towards. And unlike the MCU, where I feel like that's okay, some at points where they don't have a clear goal, this doesn't have any clear goal, and I don't see why. Because if they're going for a Spider, like, villain characters, then they should just do that. If they're going for a Spider-Geddon arc, then they should just do Spider people. I just don't see why they're doing that. But, yeah. This film, I think the idea of including a lot of Spider people is interesting. I think it's a very bold move. And I think also, this is the first time that we've really seen Spider-Man be a villain, or a Spider variant be a villain. And I think that's a very creative idea. I think them having a lot of Spider characters in it is another huge risk in live action. We've only seen that in No Way Home. And this is going to be even more Spider characters. Are they going to do well? Who knows? I don't know if they're going to do this well. But I think that it looks pretty... I think it's an ambitious idea that would really benefit Spider-Geddon. Moving back to the fan film idea, because that's what this video is about. I think the other claim I think that can really come from this is, like, how there's nothing, like, no Madam Web in the suit. Like, it looks like a fan film trailer. How they're having all the NYPD stuff. That's something so a fan film would do. There's 100... Like, that's something a fan film would 100% do. And then they have, like, that whole ambulance chase. That, yeah. Other thing. The Sam Raimi web eye crap. And the final shots of the trailer. When they go into Madam Web's eye and they do the whole future thing. And then they're, like, come out of the eye. And then they're like, now. And then they do that. That looked funny. Like, I know people are... That's what's going to make people say that's a fan film. Because they're like, oh, damn, that looks like crap. But I see it. I think it's, like, cheesy, but I actually would like that. I think that's a really fun idea to have, like, the Sam Raimi effects come back for a real Spider-Man film. Like, if Spider-Man 4 had, like, the Sam Raimi editing, I think that would be hilarious. Because I think it could work. Because, in my opinion, I didn't love the campiness of the Sam Raimi at times, but at other times I really liked it. And in this Madam Web trailer, I thought it looked pretty funny. But I think it worked. It's not like a bad funny. It was like a good funny. Because it was like, that's an interesting idea to go for a more comic-y, campy, because not everything can be so serious and so dark. And I think this is a good idea to do that, in a sense. Like, I think it looks pretty cool, I'll admit. It doesn't look great, it looks cool, though. But I think it's Ezekiel Sims. I think we have a lot of shots of him, with him kind of just, like, walking around and doing things, and it looks not great. It doesn't look high budget. It looks like Lotus. And then when they have all the spider people come, it looks like they're just having spider people show up. And I think what has to be discussed is, I think this is actually an issue sparking from Spider-Man Lotus. And for me, at least, someone who's seen Lotus 3 or 4 times, probably only 3, I don't know, I've seen it so many times because I'm working on a Rise, Fall, and Destruction of Spider-Man Lotus film video. That's going to be a hell of a video. It's going to be like an hour. I don't even know if I'm going to do it because of how difficult it's becoming, but I think that actually corrupted Spider-Man films. I think that was so bad and burned into so many people's minds that they were like, when they saw the trailer, and I'll admit, the suit does look a lot like the Spider-Man Lotus suit. Like, the suits do look similar. I can't deny that. That's the first thing I thought. So, I think that is part of the issue that they're facing. I think them realizing that their suits look so similar, and they can't do much about it, is an issue that they're going to have to combat. Because if they keep playing off the idea that, like, if that suit looks so familiar to Spider-Man Lotus, I think that's a huge issue that they're facing with it. And I think that's a huge part of it. And also, because Spider-Man Lotus had those flame effects, had all the stuff in the suit, and I think it doesn't look great here, and has a lot of the same shots and stuff, I 100% see how they're saying it looks like a fan film, because I think they're saying it looks like Lotus. Because of how good Lotus looked, you can't deny that some shots in Lotus looked incredible. You can't deny that. But a lot of it didn't. But there were some really good shots in there. And the costume was also incredible in it. So I think when you look at the costume in the film and then the Lotus costume, I think this is the first film to suffer from the Lotus effect. I think whatever the first Spider film was going to suffer. And I think this film just played into it even more with the suit being so familiar to it. I don't think it's something the film necessarily is doing wrong. I don't think it's something the film did wrong, in a sense. But at the same time, I think, why did they have to make it so similar? I don't know. But I don't think they try to make it look similar. I think that's just the way things happened. But, yeah, I just think that is something that made the film get hurt. And I think also it just doesn't look great. I think they needed to say something. I think they said CW. And I think some people started saying it looked like Lotus suit. It does. And then that's how they said it looked like a fan film. I think the other thing that says the CW/fan film thing is really just how there's so many spider people. And I think that could work, but I think it also feels like they're just including characters to include characters, and that's something a fan film would definitely do. There are plenty of fan films that have like 4 or 5 superheroes in it because they all like the characters. Like, a lot of Spider-Man fan films have Daredevil in it, but they also have Miles Morales in it. But they also have, like, they don't need Daredevil in it, because I see a lot of them with Daredevil, that's why I'm using them as an example. But they don't need Daredevil in it. Daredevil doesn't normally help the plot so much, but they have them in it because they enjoy the character. I feel like that's the other thing. Like, they're including Spider People because they can. And I think that's the other thing. It's definitely a CW thing. The CW has had useless heroes before, especially when they're side characters, like in The Flash or Arrow, when all the side characters had to be heroes as well. But I think it also ties into the fan film aspect, where fan films try to include as many heroes as possible instead of just side characters. I think a fan film thing that, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but I think something fan films do struggle at sometimes is having normal people be the side characters instead of having every side character also be heroes. And I think that's something that some fan films struggle at. My fan films have struggled at it as well. I can't deny it. But I think those are the main things that make this look like a fan film. I think it also is edited. This trailer is edited like it's a fan film trailer, and I think a lot of the things just look like how a fan film would shoot it. Yes, there's some pretty cool shots in it. I think some of those flipping shots in the fight scenes look really good. And I also think the premise of Madam Web being like this future seer, and some of those cool ideas with like the knife, when they flipped the knife and then did it, and then that, I thought that looked visually cool. And that's something I really like, playing with like the trippy aspect of like a grounded film. Like that's like the type of films I love, when it's like trippy and like weird, but it's also super grounded. And I think that's what this film, oh my god, could do. But I think it has to figure out, why is it looking like a fan film? So yeah, I see where people are coming from when they say this looks like a fan film. Do I think that they should be saying it? I don't know. I think it does feel a bit insulting to say like, oh, it looks like a fan film, it looks like CW. I see where people are coming from, though. I see the points they're making. I don't want to say like they're valid. I don't want to see like, oh, I can definitely see 100%, but I do see it. I do see where they're coming from. I think you can see it in the suit. I think you can see it in the many heroes. I think you can see it in the editing of the trailer and the editing of how they're doing the film. I don't think that's something the film's doing wrong. I think a CW kind of looking film, I think a fan film looking film could be good. I think there are plenty of incredible fan films out there. I've said that thousands of times. I review fan films basically for what I do on YouTube. So I don't think it should be looked down upon if a film just doesn't look so good, but is an incredible story film. Of course, we don't think this film's going to actually be great, but who knows? But I do see where people are coming from, and I think that's where I end this investigation. Overall, yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't voted for the Fan Film Awards already, vote. 24 incredible fan films, they all want to be voted for, so vote for them. Let's see who the best fan film of the year is. Also, if you want, I'm working with the rest of my cast and crew on my next film, and we are debating if I should do a face reveal and play one of the characters in it. I know I played Taskmaster in the last one. It is a huge debate if I should play one of the side characters in it and be unmasked. So if you have any thoughts on that, please comment them below. Yeah, besides that, thank you so much for watching this video. See you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.